was gonna try to put on a cute outfit for this video, but 3 p.m. and I'm still in my pajamas. Hello, welcome back to my channel. So this week I have been extremely frazzled. For the past few weeks, I've been extremely frazzled. So I think we all have those times where it's just like life is so crazy, you're so overwhelmed, you don't know where to start, you're like just frazzled all over the place, can't think straight, like don't feel like you have a good handle on what is going on around you. And it is a very unsettling feeling is the word, especially if you're kind of like more closer to type A like I am, where you just kind of want some ease, you know, some calm. So yeah, I kind of got fed up this week where I was like, okay, we need to just take a step back, pause, like don't just keep spinning your wheels, pause for a second, take a step back and really organize, ground, you know, because I just can't keep going like this. I'm feeling crazy. So I'm gonna tell you what I do. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about is, you know, when you are feeling very frazzled, overwhelmed, anxious, overworked, etc., like you're not thinking straight. So you kind of want to get back to a point where you have more clarity, because when you're kind of in that mode, you're not seeing things clearly for what they are. And you're, like I said, making a mountain out of a molehill, making things bigger deal than what they are, what they need to be, and all that good stuff. Typically, when I'm frazzled and running all over the place, you know, my sleep is suffering, my eating is suffering, my environment is suffering, you know, all that type of stuff. So you want to just take a step back and ground those. So the first thing that I like to start doing is cleaning, straightening up. Typically, I start having all these like type of crazy feelings and I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what to do next, you know, like friggin' type A stuff. And then I look around and I realize like things are a little bit disorganized in my environment. So I like to start by straightening up my environment, where I'm working, what, you know, my bathroom, all that type of stuff. Usually like when I'm just like running all over the place, I'm like leaving stuff. I'm not, you know, like picking up after myself in the way that I normally prefer to do. So start with cleaning your environment. And my mother used to always say, the way your environment is the way that your thoughts are, blah, blah, blah. And I'm rolling my eyes thinking about it because I'll be like, girl, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm fine. I'm fine up here. But really, it's true and it's really subtle. So having a more organized, as much as you can help it, type of environment is gonna help you think clearer. At least it's a way to start. And then the next thing, I like to do something grounding that's taking me out of my head, I guess. So I typically like shower. I talked about cleaning, that's very grounding for me. Exercising, like typically I get a lot of clarity when I'm exercising, like doing some sort of cardiovascular activity, and it doesn't have to be long, you know, 10-15 minutes, any little thing that you can do to like get yourself out of your head. And then typically how I feel, at least, is when I'm coming out of that, I have more clarity to like tackle kind of what's going on. If I have like a big behemoth beast of things that I need to do, typically it kind of like takes me out of it. And then I am able to, like, my stress levels are able to come down enough for me to be like, okay, like this is not that big of a deal. It's fine. Like, let me just go ahead and start from scratch, you know? And I usually have that type of good feeling after I am able to exercise a little bit. I'm cleaning, go get in a nice long shower, or take a bath. But anything that's just whatever it is that you need to do to ground yourself where you feel more clear is whatever it is. So for me, that's showering, taking a bath, exercising, whatever. For you, and also something that I do also like to do is go to Target. I don't know what it is. I think I just have a lot of positive memories there, but I associate, like that's like one of my happy places. If I need to like just zone out, I go to Target, have a good time, whatever. Like whatever it is that you need to do that's constructive and also it's not making your problems, whatever your problems you're dealing with, worse, do it. Then next, after I'm all clear, my environment is more open, more free, I bring up everything. Like get everything out of your head, get a notebook, get on your computer, type it out, whatever. Every single thing that you're thinking of, what you need to get done, etc. And just get it all out. Purge, not that kind of purge, but like just purge it out of your mind, because otherwise like your wheels are still spinning. And so you just need to, like I mentioned, get out of your head enough for you to have a level of clarity. So yeah, I typically like write everything down that I need to get done. I type it in my notes, I get on my computer, and I typically do like a mixture of all three. So it helps you to start to organize your thoughts and get everything out so that you're feeling a little bit like less stressed in your body. Then following that, I'll make lists of things. And I try not to like make my to-do list too complicated, too long, because it's also very overwhelming. So just make a list of the most impactful things and the most important things that you need to. And this next tip is a big one. Typically when I'm feeling overwhelmed about doing things, I'm trying to do too much. So I try not to do too many things all at one time. Or if like, let's say for example, I have like a goal to do something, especially if it's something that I'm just starting out doing, I'm not going to try to force myself to, you know, do so much just to start. I try to like break things down. Like if doing 30 minutes of cleaning is too much for me, I'll knock it down to 20, knock it down to 15, knock it down to 10, even knock it down to 5, knock it down to 2. Whatever you need to do to make it manageable for you to do is how you're gonna be able to go and start. Y'all hear that horn? So the big thing is just try to break things down into small chunks so that they're digestible for you. Just like you cut, you know, your steak, cut your food or whatever, make it small enough so that you can actually eat it, enjoy it, digest it, do it, you know, and act on it. And try not to do too much at one time. Another side tip that I need to mention, typically when I have a day of like when I need to reset, I will do my best to fuel myself with, you know, a good, fulfilling, healthy breakfast that I like really enjoy. So a good healthy dose of protein to help keep you going so that you're, you know, not getting hungry super fast after you eat. Some good fats like peanut butter in the morning or avocado or like whatever, oil in your food if you cook oil in your food, whatever it is. But just like try to have a nice balanced meal to help fuel yourself and fuel your day so that you can like tackle it with energy and also good mental clarity with a high quality meal. The next thing obviously is to let go of any distractions that are going to take you out of what you need to be doing. So whether that be your phone, anything that's going to get in the way of you doing what you need to do. Sometimes in order for me to get certain things done, like it helps me to put on some TV or like some YouTube or whatever to sit down and do it. It's like I can do one of my favorite things while doing something that I don't necessarily want to do right now. So I mean, like obviously take this with a grain of salt and at your own discretion. Like utilize entertainment when you need to utilize it in order for you to help, you know, get certain things done that you need to get done, but also like don't let certain distractions get in the way of like your productivity in that particular moment that you need. So like if you need to turn off notifications so your phone's not constantly buzzing, or like the dings on your computer, or people kind of like coming into the room, or like whatever it is, but try to manage distractions and also use them to your advantage when need be as well. And the final thing is act. So acting on like after all these steps of organizing yourself, purging everything, all that type of stuff is going to help you get motivation to keep going. So how I like to structure my productivity, and I'll try to like put in a chart, but like a bell curve. And I think in order for you to kind of like get into a habit loop of action, in order to get certain things done, is like you start small, start with easy stuff, very easy stuff. Then in the middle, start like go to your most pressing or the things that you're dreading the most or the hardest things, and then taper off with some more easy things. That is like what works best for me. I know some people like to just like lead up like that, and some people like to start with their hardest and go down. I personally know that I work better easing, peaking, and then coming down with the easy stuff at the end. So if I have a whole bunch of stuff on my to-do list, like a lot of admin stuff, I'll start with like making a phone call, an easy phone call, or scheduling an appointment, or like knocking something really easy and quick off. That gives me the momentum to kind of like work up, gets me in the mode to work up, and I'll peak, and then I like to finish off with easy stuff. So I don't know if that makes any sense, but like that is the most helpful productivity method for me. And then also you can set timers for yourself. So like work for 20 minutes, take 5, 10 off. Work for 30 minutes, take 5, 10 off, etc. So you don't have to like, again, just sit down for 3 hours. It's like, if it's really hard for you to get yourself into a working mode, just be like, you know what, yo, I'm gonna do something for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, take a little bit of break. And then give yourself that kind of structure and grace. And typically, like once you get yourself in the mode, you're just kind of going. But the hardest part is obviously actually starting. So work on, you know, kind of the stress in your mind and the stress in your body, like purging that out, fuel yourself up, and then act in a way that's going to be most conducive to, you know, your productivity. So those are all the things that I typically like to do when I'm feeling like super frazzled, which I have been this week. I, you know, just have to like take a step back and really ground myself, get out of my head so much. And then, you know, when you kind of come to the end of it, you're like, wow, that really wasn't that big of a deal, or that really didn't take me that long, or, you know, whatever. But like I mentioned, starting is like the hardest part. So anyway, let me know any tips that you have. Give me the juice on what you do when you're super overwhelmed. If you have any like tried and true methods, let me know. I hope these things kind of helped you. Let me know if you really liked the video. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe, you know, whatever, do all that YouTube stuff. And I'll see you next time. Bye.